Guys, what's going on? Jeremy Lafrentz, Backstage Entertainment. None other, Tony, Godsmack. Tony, how's the day going?
It's going great.
Yeah.
Out here on tour, our last show in America, heading to Canada tomorrow.
Right. You guys, it's kind of funny because weren't you in Minneapolis just last night?
Yes.
And then you came back down to Nebraska, and then you have to go back up. So
tours never make sense
No.
directional wise. They're always availability and what's
exactly.
So you gotta do a lot of traveling out of your way.
Do you remember traveling? What's been kind of the worst experience going from here to there? And I mean, it's probably weather plays a big role in everything. We're in the springtime, so that doesn't make doesn't matter that much right now. But any long trips you can remember?
Yeah, we've gotten stuck on the road in the snow before and had
Right.
to, but you're in a tour bus, so it's not so bad,
Right.
you know. So that's happened before. Trying to get home from a tour in the winter, we didn't make it home. Had to spend an extra day on the side of the highway.
Yeah.
So that's one trip I can remember going a lot longer than I wanted it to.
Right.
Especially at the end of a tour when you were heading home.
Yeah. Talk about crazy bus rides. The days can be crazy too. We were just talking right before the interview. We got confirmation on the interview, said it was going to be Shannon, and it changed and everything. But things happen with you guys, and just stuff comes up. So, how much notice did you get that you're doing an interview right now with us?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. Does that kind of? Did it scare you in a way where you just kind of you've done enough of
I've
these?
done enough of this, but I don't usually do it. Shannon and Sully do most of the press, honestly.
Right.
And me and Robbie, we don't really do much of it. So, but through the years, we've had to do it, so it's not like a real big stretch.
Okay. So, since those guys do most of the interviews, it's kind of rarity then. I guess our interview is going to feature you, right?
Yeah, probably.
Have you done, can you ballpark how many you've actually done throughout the career?
They were all in the first 10 years of our working, so I probably haven't done much since 2010.
Okay, well, this is a rarity then. We caught you, huh? Let's talk about this, and maybe you'd have to go back to the first 10 years, of course, too. But do you recall any interviews that started out just horrible, and you're like, oh man, it's one of those again?
Man, that's a long time ago to remember a bad interview. Sometimes you get interviews with some interesting questions. Sometimes but a lot of times they just want to know what's going on in your life at that moment, a tour
Exactly.
or musically, if you're writing music, or what direction the band might be going musically. So a lot of it's common questions anyway.
Right.
But sometimes people can be clever and think of some different things,
Yeah.
Like something good would be to ask what the Godsmack. We have a secret knock, if someone knew that or something, maybe that would be cool. But
So you have a secret knock?
we do. I can't say it.
Well,
what
of
it
course
is,
not.
but
Then you'll get knocks on your door.
we've had it for
and let
20
people
years
in.
though. It's been that long.
Really?
Yep.
How did that one all start then?
It started from the first. It's a song on the first record. I'll give you that much.
Okay.
It's a piece of a song on the first record
Gotcha.
that we knock, and that's the Godsmack official knock.
Gotcha.
That will get you in any dressing room, even if it's locked. So that's like that would be a good question if we have a secret knock.
Has anybody walked in on something that they probably weren't supposed to walk in on then?
Just when we're getting dressed or something like
Yeah.
that, but nothing that I can
Right.
remember like about an event that happened or anything,
Well, you were telling me too, 3 of the 4 of you are married, so you probably do keep it pretty calm back here and everything too.
Yeah. That's how. I mean, it's work too for us. We do this 5 days a week. So, an hour before the show, that's our routine. We get together, we get dressed, and we kind of put some tunes on, and we talk about the set, and that's our routine. And then afterwards, we come to the dressing room and change or take a shower and high five if it was a good show, or talk about what we didn't like about the show or whatever. And you kind of have a final moment, and then it's off, and then I just go to the bus and go to sleep.
Yeah. So that's the thing too, is a lot of people don't get to see backstage very much, and they think, of course, that it's all partying and everything like that, and
it can be.
And it can be, sure.
And we partied more when we were younger, for
Right.
sure. In our first 10 years, we were drinking every day, every show we drank.
Really?
Every day. Yeah, it was a routine,
Right.
And there's no rules out here, right? So you can do
Well,
whatever you want as long as you still can play and show up on time.
Yeah.
Then it's all good. So it was controlled, but still, I haven't drinking. I quit drinking like 4.5 years ago. And it wasn't because of any one event or anything. I drank enough. And
Yeah.
I'm a pothead anyway, so that's enough for me.
Right. So you've got your life fill in of the drinking, so now.
Yeah, I feel that way.
Yeah.
And Shannon quit too about 3 years ago, so he doesn't drink at all anymore. And Sully doesn't drink nearly what he used to drink. So he doesn't drink much at all anymore.
Yeah. So that kind of leads to an interesting question too. I know that you guys, before this too, you guys do the meet and greets and everything, and fans see the fun photos and everything. Look like somebody even got engaged during one of your meet and greets or something.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
So do you get any crazy fan gifts during a meet and greet?
They're not so crazy. Usually it's a bracelet or a coin or nothing too crazy. So people have made some cool metal art for us before with Godsmack, and sometimes it's a cool thing that someone put a lot of time into, and it's always appreciated. We think it's cool, and so, or a shirt, maybe a T-shirt or something that they, just different variety of things. But I can't think of anything that was really bizarre.
Yeah. So here's the big question: do you really keep most of that stuff you get, or is it just you get so much?
If you liked it, you could keep it. If not, it probably would go in the dressing room, and maybe a crew guy would grab it up or something. If not, or someone that worked at the venue maybe would leave it behind. But if it's cool, I'd keep it. It depends what it is, really. So the engagement happened. Is there any cool moment like that you just sticks out in your mind that's happened during a meet and greet? Man, we do it so much, and we've done so many. It's like, it is what it is. You're meeting a lot of people every day. I think it's a great thing because it's an opportunity for them to actually meet us, get a picture with us, and there's a whole bunch of other things that they get with that. They're in the front. I see them in the front. They get a tour. They get to see the dressing room and everything. You get to really see what we do in a real life way, with no bells and whistles. It is what it is. They see the stage, all the work that goes into the preparation for that. Because that's what it is. We got a lot of people out here working too. They have to set the stage up every day and break it down, and that's a lot of work. Yeah, well, and that's the nice thing too, is because a lot of fans, they get to see you on stage. They get to see you, occasionally out and about. Not very much, but they get to hear your albums. So it's stage and albums primarily. Mm-hmm. The nice thing, what we like to do too, is show a backstage footage like I told you. And I have to be honest with you, when I got confirmation we got to do the interview with you guys, I was kind of thrilled because, you guys are a big band. And so sometimes big bands of your nature don't do the press and stuff anymore. How do you guys feel about, the level that you're at and why you still need to do press? I feel like it's just part of the job. Again, it's a job, and people want to know what's going on. So it's like I said, I don't usually do it. So I guess I'm speaking for myself. But I think it's just you have to still tell people what's going on in your world because they're interested, right? And that's a window into it, Yeah. So before this interview, do you remember the last interview you did? I've done some phone interviews, when we went to Europe, we had to do a bunch of stuff, and I remember Shannon couldn't do some of those, so I cut those too. So you're always the fill-in. Yeah, I'm a fill-in guy. Yeah. So a year ago, When Legends Rise came out, and you guys are playing, I'm sure, a ton of songs tonight off of them on this tour, off that album. Is it cool, or what do you prefer? Do you like when the album is just released and you get to hear people hearing it for the first time live, or when it's been out for a year and you get people singing along to those songs? That's interesting. I like both because it's exciting when it first come out. You got a new record, you got a new single, and you're coming out. They're both great, because that's exciting. You're really pumped up when you put a record out and you're first coming out and touring it. But it's also, like you said, they don't know all the music. So what happens to us all the time? Sully wants to play half the record right away, and but we always have a debate about it. Right. And it's always they don't know the whole record yet. So you get a lot of people just staring and not knowing the words and everything. So we try to do a blend, so you can give them some of the new record and then play your hits too, Exactly. So that we've talked about that stuff all the time. And usually we start out a heavy mix of the new stuff, and then after a week or so, he'll throw in some of the hits again because he feels it. He feels the flow of the show, and then he'll end up. Right now, I think we're doing 4 off the new one, So that's I think that's a good balance, Yeah, definitely. We're playing like an hour and a half, so that's 4 songs that are new, and the rest is all, the catalog. Well, that's got to be difficult too, being around for so long, having the 7 studio albums now, and you have to pick, a few songs off of those to play during the night. So I'm sure it's a chore for you guys to do that. That's Sully's deal. He always makes a set list, always has. He has favorites. He has some he prefers to sing, and some he doesn't do anymore. I noticed, we have songs that were on the radio. We just don't do them. I haven't done them in 10 years or something, and for whatever reason, Do you feel like, too, you could pick up any of your songs off of the 7 studio albums and play that, or is there some you just need to brush up on? I'd have to brush up. Yeah. I'd have to brush up, but I could do it again. I just have to be a total brush up thing. A couple times, I'd have to listen to it a couple times, and I'd be. Then we have a jam room all the time, so we could even. Okay. If he ever does want to do a song like that, we do that. We have a room we can go over there and just practice like in a garage,
Right.
So that's always good.
Okay. All right. So here we go. I showed you this thing. I didn't tell you what it was because I like to see, your look on your faces, when we do interview bands and everything too. This is called our BSE Box. Fans have found us on our socials and actually submitted their own questions to get in this box. And so basically a drawing box where you can draw your own questions.
Okay.
But now we've added some stuff to it in our, recent interviews and everything too, so we have something that goes with it. There's a process to it. I'm going to explain it. We'll kind of take it as it goes. So first, you're going to draw a question.
Okay.
All right, then we can read it aloud.
What's the craziest thing that happened at one of your concerts?
Okay. So then, I'm going to see if you're comfortable with this, because you haven't done press in a while, so I'm going to see if you can do this. But 1 through 75, pick a number.
1 through 75?
You got it.
64.
Okay, 64. So while you answer the question, you have to answer it like you're explaining it to a kid. So we have these actions that go along with our questions. So basically, if I'm a small child, you have to explain it to me. Got it?
I think.
Okay.
All right. Well, we were playing a concert.
A concert?
A concert. And a man threw his leg up on stage, his fake leg.
A fake leg?
Yep. And I didn't know what it was. So this is funny. I don't even know what to. I'm not good at acting.
I know. We get to see that now too.
Yeah. Yeah, and we didn't know what to think of it. And Sully grabbed the leg and got the guy up on stage, and we signed it for him. And gave it as a gift to the guy, as a memento. And I thought that was kind of crazy.
It's not the first time I've heard a fake leg or arm being thrown on stage, so it must happen,
That was pretty crazy, I think.
Gotcha. So what do you think?
I don't know. I'm not an actor.
How about this?
Sully's an actor. You get him. He can act.
Well, yeah. He popped his head in here right before the interview, and then he's like, nope.
He's shy, yeah.
Shy guy today.
So,
here's what we'll do. Why don't you do this? You can draw questions and just answer them normally. How about that?
Yeah, that's good.
I liked your attempt, though. That was really good.
I tried. I started. What's been your biggest embarrassment on stage?
Getting a lot of the on-stage questions here.
Yeah. Man, what's embarrassing really is when my guitar tech, I have a guitar tech, and a lot of times they do something wrong. The guitar's off or they forget to turn it on or something like that. Right. I'm not responsible for that. I just have a volume knob. I turn it on and it's supposed to work. So when it doesn't work and then we stop the song and the guitar's not on, and Sully will call me out on it, and it's always very embarrassing because it wasn't my fault and I can't explain myself, and he has fun teasing me about it in front of however big the crowd is. So
exactly.
That's pretty embarrassing, I would say.
Yeah, because people think it's you, but it's
and I can't explain myself, and I'm stuck with it. So,
exactly. How about this? You want to try one more?
I'll do another one.
All right. This is your interview. You stop.
What is your craziest hotel experience?
You can throw it in and do another one.
I remember early on in our first year of touring when we were drinking a lot more and we were younger. We still weren't that young, but we were younger than we are now.
Right.
And I remember we had a drum tech. Sully's drum tech he got drunk and was climbing around the outside of all the rooms. They had these like ledges out there. It was like 4 stories up, and he climbed around the whole thing like a monkey. And I thought he was going to die, so that was kind of crazy for me.
Right. Okay.
It's not that crazy.
Okay. All right. What'd you think of the box?
I think there's some crazy. All questions
about being crazy.
About being crazy, yeah. It's a crazy.
There
box.
are some good ones in here. I mean, we've got. I'm sure there's like 100 or so in here, and it seems like the same ones always get picked. Yeah. Which bands would you love to tour with? I mean, you guys have toured with a lot of different people and stuff too. Yeah. So, anybody you haven't toured with that you do want to?
Maybe AC/DC. We always thought it would be cool to tour with AC/DC. We would even do it for free, just because we all like AC/DC.
Right.
And they're so huge. We want to play in front of those crowds.
Oh yeah,
that'd be cool.
The fan base you'd get after that, even being around for so long.
Yeah, we're fans of the bands. We just want to open for them. But so that would be one band I would think. We played with Metallica, and that was big. That was a big deal,
Definitely.
Because they're humongous, and we played with them in Europe too, and got to see how many people came to their shows. Right. That was amazing.
Okay, so for not doing press a ton. Do you have any message for the fans that you can leave them with until your next interview that you have to fill
Come
in
out.
for?
If you haven't checked the record out, check it out. When Legends Rise, and we're going to be heading through Canada. So if you're out there, come see a show. We're with Volbeat.
All right. There you guys have it. From Godsmack, we got Tony. Definitely check out When Legends Rise. A great record. All right, guys, check out Godsmack. Hey, everyone. Thank you for watching our video. Subscribe to us on YouTube to see all of our interviews and backstage footage. Also find us on our other socials by searching at BSE Rocks or by clicking the links below in the video. By becoming a fan of Backstage Entertainment, you can enter in contests to win autographed prizes. From Backstage Entertainment, I'm Jeremy Lafrentz.